Hello everybody, my name is Aceface. We're going to be running some more T5 Abyss in the Cerberus, a 630 million ISK valued Cerberus fit and chip included. This fit has so far done a T5 Dark and T5 Exotic, and it's passed in flying colours. We're going to test another T5 Dark, because we've actually got a spare here in our inventory, because we had, from these two sites, one of these dropped from, I think it was a T5 Dark, dropped another T5 Dark, so we're sort of replicating the filament we had before. But either way, we're going to go here and activate this filament. We're so far sitting on 106 million ISK. See if we can get some more ISK. I mean, that's already 1/6 of the ship back. And we'll get more soon. Okay. Hopefully, if we survive this, that is. Not guaranteeing that we'll survive. I need to test this fit out more. Not been testing it enough to say for sure that this is going to be a tried and tested fit. But we'll see. Okay, Charybdis Tyrannus. Very easy in the dark side because we can avoid a lot of damage very easily. We'll just move here to the side. Go with... we also should activate Multispectrum. Okay, Entanglers need to go down, and the Illuminators as well. We've got Caldari Navy. Great, okay. So we'll go for these Entanglers. And use the Afterburner as well, important. And we'll try to establish an orbit on Charybdis. And then it should be easy game, easy game. Oof, that guy got annihilated. Now use the web there. 1.2k volley, perfect. Just use the shield booster a bit. And we'll orbit Charybdis soon. Need to move a bit. Hold down Q, move up a bit, and then double click. There we go. Probably put Rage. If we just entangle or Webify this FELs over here. And we took 900 damage from a smashing. That's a lot of damage. There's a lot of our shield going down in one block. I think a wrecking shot might take like 2/3 of our shield or something like that. And we need to use our Webifier. Like, it's very typical. You see, they're going out of our web range just when we switch over to Rage. It's just the way it always is with these NPCs. They know what you're doing. They know what you're doing. They don't really know, I think, but it feels like they do because they very often coincidentally like to go out of range of webs and your close range ammunition when you switch over to it. Okay, great. Can lock up that one. Actually have the drones go for this Diagnostic cache. Oh, Charybdis is keeping a bit of range actually. I think it's because we're being webbed, so that's why we're not able to get close enough to Charybdis fast enough. Usually it's going to be a lot easier to get close to Charybdis actually. Oh, we've got a multi-body tracking power on as well. That's going to buff Charybdis even more, so we need to be extra careful. Need to be extra careful. Keep up the transversal. Keep up the destruction of these crews as well to reduce the negative effects on us. Dissipators, we do not need that. The Illuminators can also be good to take out because they're going to make our signature radius bigger, making it easier for Charybdis to hit us. And I will actually, as soon as I establish an orbit, just start destroying Charybdis instead, because the crews will always keep on top of us. Charybdis won't. Charybdis always wants to pull range, so we'll save a bit of time by being close to Charybdis and taking out Charybdis straight away. Let's see if we can recall our drones, because they're just having all these crews fly out all the way there, because this guy, he's 50 kilometers away. He's 50 kilometers away because he's focusing on our drones. Now our drones just whizzed back, and you'll see suddenly he's going to whiz back as well. Okay, we can just orbit here. Orbity orbit. Charybdis, like a quarter or a third shields. It was pretty quick with the amount of DPS we have. 740 DPS. We can get more with implants and better damage modules. I wonder what our heavy assault missile skill is actually. Heavy assault missile specialization level 3. Okay, so we could actually get more if we train this. We can train that to level 4. Almost. We had a bit of skill points to spare from events. We'll get some extra DPS because I can see us using a bit more heavy assault missiles with the buffs to the Cerberus immune and as of the Uprising expansion. Charybdis Tyrannus. It's so much easier going for Charybdis because these guys are going to follow me later, because it's a bit of a pain having to like push Charybdis so you get close to the transfer conduit. Otherwise you're just going to spend a lot of like dead time just traveling to the transfer conduit, not really achieving anything. Now that Charybdis is going to go down, we can go to the Diagnostic cache and still do damage and still do something useful with our ship, because we've got cruisers to destroy. That's great to see. That's actually a good idea. It's a great thing about the dark side, because you're able to get close to Charybdis straight away, or quicker than you otherwise would be because of the increased speed you have. Great. And we'll get some decent volleys too. 800 volleys. Very nice to see. Take out this Spearfisher. Close to the Biodaptor, see what we get, if we get anything cool. Could obviously get a lot more if we were to go for the extraction nodes. They are very valuable. Yeah, especially in T5, but I think that for testing purposes we're going to avoid them. For ISK farming we would try to go for them. Okay, another Chaotic Dark. We never ran out of filaments, it seems. But otherwise the loot wasn't too good. It was like 10 million, was it, apart from the filament? Even less maybe. Okay, we can orbit this. Transfer con at 500. We don't actually have enough drones to spare. Or we don't have any replacement drones. We actually don't have a full set of drones because in the previous runs we did, we lost a drone. We even took some damage to our drones. Come on, take out that cruiser. Can pre-web that guy. Start doing damage to the dissipator. Let's orbit this transfer conduit up close, so we can just jump in straight away when we're done. But this wave did take a bit of time. Ooh, 6.5 minutes. That's not a good time, actually. We need to get better at this. We probably should have used Caldari Navy on the cruisers because we're not getting a lot of application here. More than half the damage is being mitigated, so we could do this a lot quicker with Caldari Navy. There's a lot of wasted time in that regard, but now we've already got it switched. It's not going to be worth switching now. But this is a very bad time. 6 minutes, 50 seconds even. It could be fatal if we were to do that 3 times. Need to get faster. It also could have a slight reason to do that. It could be also a little bit due to our drones being only we're not using them a whole lot. Okay, we'll use Caldari Navy and go towards the... Are there any extraction nodes we can get? We can maybe go for these extraction nodes actually. Get some extra DAG loot. Okay, do we have any null warpers? Illuminators could be good to take out. And the entanglers actually. Entanglers primarily. There we go. Okay, we'll go for this guy. So at least here we get full application, so we're fully utilizing our damage, and we can also deploy our drones as well. Get some extra DPS. Land a volley here in the extraction node. And we'll continue on this entangler. Because the great thing about these FELs is they will always follow us, so we can go to these extraction nodes, no problem. It's not like we're going to waste time in terms of how fast we get through these. The only thing maybe could be a risk is that we go out of web range, but it's still alright. I think we are fine. We'll go for the illuminators after the tanglers. Yeah, you can see how like some of them are going a bit far away. That's also because of our drones. They're focusing on our drones a bit. That can also be a reason. Because now that we recall our drones, they're getting a lot quicker, closer to us. Go for this one. 800k, hardly anything. Go for this extraction node over there. We could maybe go even for that extraction, or the Biodaptor I was meaning, but we could go for that extraction node as well. Since we are a bit quicker than we are in usual abyss size, we might have enough time to go for this extraction node. That's a little bit far away. That's a little bit further away. Great to see. Go for this illuminator. Lock all these loot caches up. Oh, we can't do that because of the max lock targets we have. I've not had to use any boosters and we've been doing so well. Great to see. We're getting decent damage even without using our web. Great to see, great to see. We'll land a volley there. That's quite cool actually, because we go pretty fast, 1k a second, so you're actually able to manually go to a lot of these extraction nodes if the wave allows. If it's something that likes to keep at range, then it's not going to be good, because then you're going to get a lot of missed application, not being able to use the web. But it seems like we're able to get a decent amount of damage in here. Okay, I'll move up a bit, and then move up here. And go to this extraction node. Absolutely annihilate these cruisers. We are able to do damage with rage, but we have to go at specific angles to be able to get good damage from rage. Oh, we bump into the rock. That's not what we want to have. Go back a bit. I once got stuck in one of these asteroids and I was sort of panicking, thinking I'm going to lose my ship, but I was eventually able to get myself loose. I think it was in one of these similar asteroids. Oh, come on now. Remember that 5 million? Okay, we are getting low on capacitor. Okay, get me to the bionative, please. I feel like I'm stuck here. Get out of this, please. Oh, how does the ship allow itself to do this? It should either just bounce off, I think. I think there might be some angles to that object that can be a little bit glitchy. It's usually when you collide into something in even line, you sort of bounce off it. Okay. Good, good, good. We can just launch a volley here for the bioadaptive cache. There we go, and now we can go for the spearfisher. 133 million loot stash sitting on here. Almost a fourth of our ship. Hopefully we get some really good loot drops. You can see. Get some T6 filaments that are worth a lot. Or some survey data that's worth hardly anything. I mean, it's not hardly anything, but for T5 it's not so much. Okay. Continue here. That's great, we were able to take all the extraction nodes without really wasting any time because we were getting damage in all the time. 8 minutes left as well. Maybe deploy our drones to get this a bit quicker. We're not getting full application here. It seems like 800 volley and we've got 1400 damage. We're not getting that good application actually. We could definitely use better application. We should be getting like 1.2k volley with perfect application. But these Ephialtes cruisers are going too fast, it seems. 3 cruisers there. How much time do we have left? Soon 7 minutes. Ooh. These are pretty long waves. I mean, Charybdis takes a long time usually. The Ephialtes rooms are also pretty time intensive. We could have done this a bit quicker if we were to use that synth crash booster in the beginning, and that would have helped. There, you can see we got full application there with 1.3k volley. So that's the amount of potential DPS we should be able to do, but we're doing a lot less when we get like these 500 volleys. Then we're doing like, if we're doing with our damn 550 DPS, it's like we're doing like 200 DPS basically. This is actually really bad. Okay, recall drones. And how much time is left? 7 minutes. Okay. What do we have here? Lucifer, Cynabal. Okay, these are good testers. Let's go for this extraction node over here. Let's pull a bit of range. You want to go for all these Cynabals. To be slightly careful here because these guys hit hard. They hit very hard. These are more deadly Cynabal waves than we've encountered previously, and we should be selectively using our shield booster to save a bit of capacitor. Capacitator. Okay, do we need to use boosters? Yes, we do. Okay, use this, use this, use this. Overheat this a bit. Come on now. Take out just one of these elite Cynabals and it should be alright. Just get one cycle. Just pulse it ever so slightly. Need to also use the web when we can. Oh wow, drone's taking a lot of damage. Don't need to use so much overheating damage. And that guy's out of range of our web, that's why we're doing so little damage to him as well. Who is neuting? Furies. A lot of them are neuting. We should get the... Just keep moving. Oh, we're going to take a lot of overheat damage from that Hardener being overheated. Come on, take him out. Oh, taking big hits there.
The capacitor is empty. The capacitor is empty.
Come on, get some boosts. Get some boost. Come on.
The capacitor is empty.
Oh no. Oh no. Ugh. That's unfortunate. We died there. That's what I was talking about. I've mentioned this before. Cynabal waves can be pretty deadly. Why did we die? I think we died because we didn't have enough tank, obviously, but we could have perhaps survived if we were to not run out of capacitor, because we were able to tank with capacitor, but we ran out of capacitor. So we could have managed our capacitor better. We could have run into the site without using our shield booster, getting a capacitor to half in the beginning. We could have also tried a better effort at coming closer to the Cynabals, because we were shooting a lot without using our Webifier, and that was making, in effect, our damage worth less, so it was going a lot slower than it would have. So if we were closer to the Cynabals, we were able to do damage faster. We had more capacity to spare. We would have been able to also tank more, because we were able to tank actually. It was actually just our capacitor that was not enough. Because at least in the beginning it was a bit sketchy, you know, the tank was going down a bit even with capacitor going on, but then we took out a Cynabal, it was alright, I felt that it was alright, but the problem was I wasn't able to sustain it. And then it was not a good idea, or good feeling. I'm wondering what we could do to provide extra capacitor. Could perhaps go with one of these large shield boosters. The GIST ones are more effective. You see 25 gigajoules to spare, but then we get a lot less HP per second, or not a whole lot less actually. 125 versus 158 I believe it is. Yeah, we'll get a lot of capacity to spare. So I don't know, it could be an option to use this, for example. It costs a bit more, but it's not a whole lot more. 20 million is more. That could be an option. We might test it later. We'll see. But I still have high hopes for the Cerberus, the T5 Abyss, not going with too expensive ships. I think it has a lot of potential. I just made a lot of errors here and probably could tweak the fit a bit to optimize it to these kinds of ways. But still, it felt good. Otherwise, we were able to grab a lot of the extraction nodes from just going in the Afterburner. Very smooth. So overall, I'm happy. It was just unfortunate it ended like this, especially when we had a lot of loot on us. We lost not only our ship, but a bunch of loot as well. But we will recover. Until next time, T5 Cerberus facing the T5 Dark, this time to a failure. But we'll come back stronger next time. Hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, please leave a like and subscribe. I'll catch you guys later.